Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. We're getting really specific today. We're gonna focus on our hands, our fingers, palms, wrists, all that good stuff. So find some space to move and let's get started. So one of my favorite things to do is stretch my fingers. So find any comfortable seat where you can bring the fingertips to the ground in front of you. So turn the palms to face forwards. You could sit on your knees if you need. Spread them nice and wide. And then bring your fingertips to the ground. Send your thumbs out to the sides too. And you could add a little bit of a pulse or just hold it in one place, but lengthen the bottom of the fingers. And just notice how this feels. You might feel some sensations in the palms. Maybe between each finger mound and then down all the way to each fingertip. And if you're lucky, you might even feel your forearms, your wrists a little bit. Just take another moment. Notice what you feel. And then we can lift our hands back up. So lift them off of the ground. You might just rest your hands on your knees with your palms down and let your fingers just dangle. Let them relax completely. And again, just notice what you feel. Maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle. We're going to be reaching our arms out in front of us. So you can reach forwards, turn your thumbs down, and then cross your right hand over the left one. Interlace the fingers, bring the palms together as best you can. Now you can stay here reaching forwards, or you can let your hands drop towards the belly. The elbows might bend. You may even pull the hands up towards the chin, but just keep the hands snug together, palms close, fingers interlaced, and you could go as far as trying to pull the hands from the chin a little bit. Feeling the forearms, the wrists, being gentle. And then depending on how you're seated right now, just notice if you're sitting tall through the spine, if you're comfortable. Can you let your shoulders fall away from your ear? Can you notice the next breath that you take? Now, if you did bring your hands by the chin, just slowly unwind your arms. Reach them forwards, maybe release the hands, place them back on the knees, and let the hands just relax. The wrists, the fingers, everything. When you're ready to switch sides, our arms will reach back out, thumbs down. Left over top this time, interlace the fingers, palms together. Maybe stay here, maybe drop the hands down, and maybe even pull them up. Keep the hands snug though, and maybe a little bit away from the chin too if you need extra. And softening through the rest of you, your forehead, your jaw. Just being very mindful today, since we're not moving much. So if you did bring the hands up by the chin, you can start to bring them back down. Reach them forward, let them go, and maybe place your palms, your hands kind of back on your knees. Notice what you feel throughout the wrists, forearm, fingers. And then just lift your hands up and make some fists. Start to make circles with your fists. Some smooth, big, and slow circles. And then switch directions. Do one more circle. And then relax and maybe give the hands a little bit of a shake. We're going to move on to our knees. If you're already there, you can stay, but come onto your hands and knees. Now we're going to use the ground, and we're just going to find tabletop. So you can make the fingers face forwards to start. And before we go further than this, we're just going to lift the left hand and turn the palm to face up. So maybe your fingers can point towards your knee. And then bring that left hand back down and switch sides. Palm up of the right hand, maybe fingers pointing towards the knee. And then from here, just bring that right hand back down to the ground. So we're going to turn the fingers out to the sides. You can keep the hands wide, maybe under the shoulders, or maybe you'll bring them closer together. But spread the fingers, try to connect the palms to the ground. The closer you bring the hands, the more you'll feel, so you can decide how close you go, or let your palms, if they're still connected to the ground, the closer you go. Or if they start to lift, you've gone a little too far, but you can add a very gentle sway with the shoulders, maybe side to side. Maybe you will draw circles around the wrists with the shoulders. Maybe you will be still here. But if you're making some circles, switch directions. Feel your hands against the ground, each and every finger and both of your palms. And then if you are moving around, just slow it down. If you did bring the hands closer together, scooch them back out a little bit wider. Turn your fingers to face forwards again, and then your right hand, palm up, maybe fingers pointing towards your knee. And then switching sides, palm up. And then bring that left hand back down to the ground. Now just lift your hands up. Any comfy seat will do. Make your fists again though, and some nice smooth circles. You can extend your arms out if you'd like. Make those circles big, smooth, feeling those wrist joints move. Make your circles go the other direction. And maybe working your way back in if you did extend the arms out. And then one more time, switch directions and maybe send your hands out. Switching directions as you work your way back in. Awesome, you guys. Okay, we're just going to be bringing our fingertips back to the ground. So however you want to sit again, maybe cross your legs the other way. But same thing as how we started. Palms forwards, fingers spreading wide, fingertips to the ground. Spread the thumbs out. Maybe add a little bit of a pulse with the palms. Maybe just hold it. but focus on the feeling through the fingers. The stretch. It's kind of an intense sensation for such a small part of the body, such an important part of the body. And maybe you can even just close your eyes. Take another breath here, another moment. And then start to lift your hands back up. Hands might come to the knees with the palms down and just relax. Relax the wrists, the fingers. And just observe what you're feeling. An area of our body that we don't always give so much attention to. You might start to wiggle your fingers. You might lift your hands up and give them a little bit of a shake again. We're just going to bring our palms together in front of the chest. You can spread the fingers wide, but start with the fingers pointing up. And then keeping the palms together, start to tip your fingers forwards away from you and see how far you can rotate. Maybe the fingers start to turn down towards the ground, but are your palms still touching? Are your fingers still touching? How do your forearms feel here? Can you lift your fingers back up? And maybe start to rotate them towards you, towards the chest, palms staying together. And then just come back, go forwards again. Sometimes the second time is a lot different than the first. Palms together, fingers together. Come back up and maybe try to point the fingers back towards the chest. One more time. And as you let your fingers come back up, facing straight up, maybe your thumbs can lightly press into your chest. Close your eyes and take an inhale to lengthen your spine. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for spending some extra time on your hands today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.